Interesting outing for the African team, of course, of Mali, and to talk about their fantastic run and how they were able to get to this stage of the competition and the positives from the World Cup on the under-17 level is a journalist, sports journalist from the Gambia, of course, in Africa. Foday Manneh joins us this morning. Good morning to you. Welcome to In the Game.
Morning, Favour. Pleased to be here again.
All right, Mali, yes, amongst the African teams that were predicted to go far or farthest in the tournament, you did want to see Senegal and tip other teams, but Mali, against all odds, got to the semi-finals of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, but they lost it to France on Tuesday. What's your take on the game and your fantastic run at the FIFA Under-17 World Cup?
Yeah, Mali, really, they were so impressive. Looking at the World Cup run from the group stage to the semi-final against France, I was following every bit of their game. All the African teams, I can say, they had a very good run. I think the most difficult game for them was against Morocco in the quarterfinal, where they came out to be victorious. But again, they came against France. And looking at their team, they were the favorite to beat France, honestly. They've been very strong attackingly. When it comes to offensive football, they are the most strongest side than France. But I think, looking at it again, always when European nations and African nations meet in such stage, teams turns around in a bit. And I think that happened in Mali's case. But all in all, Mali had an impressive campaign of the World Cup, Under-17 World Cup this year. They have a very vibrant young stars, who are very good, who have a future, they did well from the qualifiers in the African competition, coming to this World Cup in Indonesia. They were so much outstanding. For me, they are the most outstanding African team in the Under-17 World Cup this time. And they deserve to be in the final, of course. But for some reason, France stood their ground and, were able to knock out the Eagles. But, Mali were so impressive, honestly. The game they played against France, looking at it, they went to man down and still they stick to it, they fought, but, it wasn't successful for them and they ended up losing 2-1. So it was sad. But then Mali were so impressive. I think they are one of the best teams of this under-17 World Cup this year.
All right, one of the best teams from the Under-17 World Cup. Now let's look at what the Under-17 World Cup brings to football in the world. Now we know one thing, of course, that of course when it comes to the Under-17 World Cup, players had discovered the future Messi's, the future Sadio Manneh, the future players in Africa and in the world are discovered most of the times from the Under-17 level. Now looking at Africa as a continent with what we've seen so far in the tournament, do you think that the next Victor Osimhen, the next Sadio Manneh, the next Mohamed Salah has been discovered, going into the future?
Yeah, I think this is the purpose of the main purpose of the Under-17 is to discover the untapped talent in the world, most especially in Africa, where football is not that much developed as other parts of the world. If their nations are competing in the Under-17 World Cup, in the Under-20 World Cup, like in our case, the Gambia, we've seen in the Under-20 World Cup, after the Under-17, Under-20 World Cup in Argentina, a lot of our young stars secured, professional contracts in Europe. The same thing, has been happening in the Under-17 World Cup. We have seen the likes of even John Obi Mikel, they all played in the 17 World Cup. Victor Osimhen, Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, a lot of young stars, even in the Moroccan side too as well. So I think this is a break. It's going to be a breakthrough for a lot of them. Much more in the Malian squad and also even in the Senegalese squad. We have seen a lot of young stars in the Senegalese squad. It was unfortunate for them; they could not go too far in the tournament. But they have very vibrant young stars in the Senegalese squad, and don't be surprised after the World Cup, you hear a lot of them securing even pre-contracts in Europe, because I know some of them are not even up to 18, but they could sign pre-contracts with European clubs. The likes of Amara Diouf, whom I think already secured a club. It is not official, but I think he secured a top club in Europe. They have a lot of young stars, and even the Senegalese, the Malian team, sorry, the Dumbia guy, Mamadou Dumbia, the Diarra guy, the captain, they are all sharp, they are all good, and this could be a breakthrough for them to get into top European club, and they can start in pursuing their dreams to becoming top professionals. To continue also representing their countries. We cannot forget about that. They should continue representing their countries and on stages. Hopefully they'll be thinking about getting into the under 20 now, some of them, and climbing the stage to reach the national team, whichever professional football thing dreams to reach. That's to represent the national team at the highest level. So I think this is a breakthrough for a lot of them. It's very big. We have been seeing a lot of African footballers get their chances through these tournaments, and I think a lot of them, a good number of them, will come out from this tournament in Indonesia. If not going to be historic one for that matter.
All right, well said, Foday, Manneh. You've really talked a lot about what to expect from the under-17 World Cup from the African teams that would, of course, transcend to the national team in the future, especially with AFCON around the corner in Cote d'Ivoire in January 2024. Thank you very much for your time. And we hope, of course, that, we'll have to see more and more of you, and, of course, for the countries in Africa and for the stars in Africa towards, getting to the pinnacle of their career. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.